another episode of Beer for Breakfast ABV. I am Danielle, and no, I did not grow 5 inches since last week.
I shrunk.
This is great. Look at that. I feel like I have so much power up here. This is amazing. As always, I have my beer drinking partner in crime with me, Paul Segura, brewmaster of Karl Strauss. We have a brand spanking new brewery on this week. We have Hopnonymous Brewing is here. We've got Remy, the founder, as well as Hunter, the head brewer. Welcome, guys. I'm stoked to get you on.
Good to have you guys on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Welcome. I love this beer.
This is a great beer.
This is like a double version of one of my favorite beers, Harlot from Society. You guys use their yeast to make this.
Yep.
And like it tastes like double, or maybe even a little bit bigger. What's the ABV on this?
So the ABV is 8.3. We actually got a lot of help from my friend Kevin Schmaltzy. I'd like to thank him for the yeast.
Shout out to Kevin.
Thanks, brother, for the yeast and the guidance.
Super good beer. Like I can crush a lot of these.
Yeah.
It's easy drinking. You don't feel the 8.3.
Oh yeah, this.
But I'm sure after drinking a pint or two of
It's a
this,
sneaky one.
it's a sniper.
Yeah, we have to keep it in a 10 ounce just to keep people safe from themselves.
And Remy, you were telling me the name of this beer, what it means. What was it?
So the name of the beer is the Dorsty Lion, which is from Dutch, means like thirsty, and you actually pronounce it like it's dust, like Dusty Lion. That's the whole little
It's good.
recall from the Flanders, where I'm from.
I was gonna say, it's like I can tell from your accent, San Diego local, born and raised.
Exactly.
Where are you from?
My hometown is Dunkirk,
Okay.
Belgium border, and that was really important for me and Hunter to have something yeasty on our board. Hopefully, our cores are mostly hoppy, but the Dorsty Lion is representing well what we do back there, and he did a great job. So I'm really happy for the first one. That's
Cool.
a really
Yeah.
good first shot.
I love this beer.
Do you have beer background from France? So like, how did you end up in San Diego making beer? What's the story?
Everything started basically. I'm a food and beverage guy. I've been in hospitality all my life, and arriving in San Diego 7 years ago was taking care of restaurants, businesses, trying to helping develop them and opening the restaurants. And one of our first customers was Buena Forchetta, Italian restaurant that helped us to start and offering them doing their beers.
Yeah.
So they are still our customers, and we are really grateful that they are still working with us. But yeah, like the beer gig was just fun back there, and it became really serious and exciting. Become here in San Diego, the capital of the craft in United
So you guys started out by making beers for specific restaurants.
Yes.
I mean, like, Buona Forchetta is a nice place.
Oh,
and I
God,
love
so
that place, man. The
good.
food's legit. So you made a special beer for them, and then that kind of branched out to other places?
Yeah. So the way we were designing it is that like we offer them their base house beers, and our way to do and to provide them the service is to basically 3D print the tap handles under their name, under their logo, in order to push their brand out. And they have local craft beers, and they embrace that really well because like people trust their product in general. So you know the fact of like having developing the product thanks to that is amazing.
You
like,
can have a lot of fun with that.
It's really
designing
fun.
beers kind of around their menus. They're specific, you know.
Yeah. We are talking about maybe doing like more precise beers and maybe pairing with foods and everything like
That's
that.
where
Yeah,
the
that
fun
will be
is.
something in the future we'll
Alright,
be able to
man.
do. Yeah.
We also have an Italian Pilsner that we're like R&Ding for them.
Something like a Moretti or
Like
but
Moretti.
fresher with a little more flavor, perhaps?
Lot really dry, just something that you can enjoy their, like you're saying,
Wow,
their
dude.
entire menu
That'd be fun.
with.
And now that you've got your own line of beers that you're doing with your name on it.
Exactly. Actually, people now are asking to have Hopnonymous outside, so we just like taking our time. It's 2 months we've been open. People have been really welcoming us very warmly, and production he's been working his ass off.
Yeah, Hunter, you were saying you
he's been
came
brewing
from
really hard.
Coronado before, right?
Yeah.
Ryan Brooks, shout out.
Thanks, Brooksy.
Yeah, he helped you out, right? Kind of get to where you are. You called him
Yeah.
your mentor?
Yep, I
That's
did.
awesome.
I worked at Coronado for almost 5 years before I went to McKellar, and then I worked at Hess, and then I found Remy.
So you've got a pretty good pedigree under your belt, then, because you just named off like 4 of the best breweries in San Diego.
Yeah, I've been in the industry for a little bit, so I'm blessed to have a career that I've had so far.
Awesome.
Well, congrats on your new digs. I think it's working out
appreciate
pretty
that.
well so far.
Cheers.
All right,
10
weeks
weeks.
in
Thanks,
the beer.
guys. Yeah,
10
to
weeks
10
in the
weeks.
game. Welcome to the neighborhood,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you for having us.
Beer number 2. This is Island Dreams, a kettle sour.
Ooh, yeah, you can smell it.
Yeah.
What fruits are in this?
So we use tangerine,
Oh.
passion fruit, and pink guava. I personally like tangerine a little more than orange. You get kind of like the actual orange flavor, a
Yeah.
little stronger than just the rind.
Well, the guava comes through nicely, too.
Good, the layering on this is a trip, because I get it, initially I'm like, oh, citrus, okay. And then I get into the tangerine, and then I get into the guava. Like, the way that this is layered, I don't know how you did that, but it's really good.
And the tartness is just right. It's not. It doesn't pucker your face. You know,
It remains a very drinkable beer.
Yeah, it's just right, man. Nicely done.
It's also something that restaurants have been asking for, and when we make beer, we're also trying to make beer for the larger community. Like
Yeah.
the average beer consumer doesn't want a sour that they're gonna be like drinking and then they try and eat pasta with it and it's just like they had a warhead in their mouth.
No, that's legit.
Been there before.
Pairing sour beers with food is always kind of a tricky thing. When I drink a beer like this, I'm thinking maybe a fruity salad, perhaps, like an aperitif kind of way,
Yeah.
or maybe some kind of dessert that's got tart cherries or something in there. Maybe
You know what I
like
really
a
want?
cheesecake. Because this would also, it's so dry.
I want to be sitting like with an ocean view, this in my hand, and like some ceviche.
Yeah.
And you know, like it just this seems like it would just pair so well with like an ocean breeze, because it's like coming in at 5%. It's got light notes to it, but this is a perfect summer beer right here.
Yeah, totally. Ceviche, good
On
call.
weekends, we open kind of earlier, 11 a.m. in the morning, and the first people stepping in actually are digging this as a breakfast beer.
Yes, beer for breakfast.
Yes.
There you go.
Just saying.
It's like liquid cereal.
And in the future, we're thinking about possibly getting some like tequila barrels to do a barrel aged version of this
Tequila
for.
sunrise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There
so
you go.
so is this the Island Dreams kettle sour? Will this be like where you change the fruit out every so often, or will it always be this fruit selection?
Yeah, so we are pretty close to making this our core, one of our first core beers. We really like how the passion fruit and the pink guava and the tangerine play with each other. We are going to have a second kettle sour on the board, but that one will rotate. So
Okay.
right now we have our peach and apricot kettle sour, and I'm working on a raspberry lime
Nice.
kettle
Those
sour
are good
for
combinations
summer.
of flavors.
They are good combinations. Where is the tasting room? Where will we get to try all of
Yeah.
these great beers?
So our beers are off of Convoy Court on 7705 Convoy Court in Claremont Mesa, right by the 52.
That's not where you described it earlier. What's it next to?
It's right by MedMen, if you know where
MedMen. See, the 91X MedMen Studios. They're right next to MedMen, so make it a double stop.
Well, it's also in the neighborhood of Society and
Yeah,
Kilowatt.
Circle 9
Kilowatt.
kilowatts. We have a
And-
great neighborhood. Like
Yeah.
people can come in. I feel Kearney is a destination as far as food and beer. So it's beautiful. It
Yeah.
became a journey, like a destination. People
Right.
come over, have food, then spend a whole day over there. Like
Seriously.
walking around, scooter around,
O'Brien's
go
is nearby
breweries, the
too.
food. It's amazing.
Sid Council.
Sometimes I think that Kearney Mesa certainly is one of those destinations that people forget how many great things are in that one concentrated little area. And plus, you know that you're sitting on the freeway, whether you're the 805, the 50,
Straight up.
or the 52, you're just sitting there. So why not, stop by, taste some food, have some beer.
Yes.
Yep.
Totally.
We actually work with a local restaurant called PT Eatery, where we have a menu that they've given us, and they come in, they deliver the food for free.
Oh, nice.
They don't raise the price of anything. They
So
just
it's one-stop shopping. Come in and have some beers, and then have the food delivered and hang out.
Yeah. It's
That's cool.
It's actually PT stands for Fong Tren, which is one of the oldest Vietnamese restaurants on Convoy Street.
Oh,
And they just opened a corner, an eatery just next to us in the same week as us. So we were talking like, hey, we don't have a kitchen. We might need each other, like that.
Yeah,
And
It's a win-win all around.
15 minutes they're here, they deliver the food, it's fresh, it's really generous portions, it's really nice.
I smell hops.
Yes, our final beer from Hopnonymous Brewing Company, their double West Coast IPA. West Coast IPA is my style. It is my favorite style. So I'm really looking forward to trying this.
Ooh, nicely done.
Oh yeah.
For
Super
a double,
dry.
it's right. It's got the dryness for a double.
Yeah.
Low mash temp.
Yep, definitely trying to keep the alcohol fusel down because, like I said, a lot of our business is also with restaurants, and
Yeah.
your average beer drinker doesn't really want to taste booze. They just want to be able to enjoy the beer. So keeping the temp low kind of helps everyone. I personally like my West Coast doubles really dry. Like my favorite, Pliny the Elder, just super dry, super drinkable.
Yep. It's not far. It's
This is
it's got the dryness. It's got a lot of the same stuff.
Ooh, 8.3%. This will get me into trouble. This will 100%, because I want multiples. And this was the first beer that you brewed, right?
Yep, I brewed it with my mentor Ryan Brooks. I just
That
wanted
dude doesn't know anything about beer.
Heck with that guy.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
What hops went into this?
So it got a first wort edition of El Dorado, and then Simcoe Centennial for the 5-minute and Whirlpool, and then dry hop with mostly Simcoe and then a splash of Centennial.
It's got an interesting hoppiness. It's almost got like a softer orange tangerine thing going on.
I think that's the El Dorado. I've really started to see that hop kind of like come around a lot more. For a while, it was like something that we never used, and then we started playing around with it and getting a lot of nice flavors out of it that we like.
Yeah. So as a guy who's worked at a few different breweries, you've probably already got more collabs lined up and all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah, so we have a collab actually from some people on Remy's neck of the woods are going to come in March, early April to do our first ever farmhouse style beer.
Cool.
They won a gold for their World Beer Cup Saison, so I'm hoping to steal a little knowledge from them.
Those guys
when
in
they
Flanders know a little bit about farmhouse ales, right?
Yeah.
And, saisons.
No, we are super excited they're coming over. It's a blessing that they are choosing us to come. It's really
That's
nice.
awesome.
I'm thoroughly impressed with all of the offerings that you've brought in today. One that we did not get to try, which we're going to try off camera, is your Imperial Pastry Snowball. Double chocolate, double coconut.
Yeah, it's got about 3 pounds of coconut and 2 pounds of chocolate.
Damn.
Or cocoa nibs per half barrel.
Ooh.
It's going to be like,
So,
I'm sorry,
oh no, please.
a candy bar, like a Mounds bar, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, that sounds-
Almond Joy's got nuts, Mounds don't.
It's like what people want now, the super over the top stouts.
It's what's hot. Pastry
Yeah.
stouts, yeah, for sure.
It's a
Gotta have
dessert
one.
glass.
Yeah. Plus, it helps balance out the lineup. There, you try to keep something on for
Yeah.
everybody, right?
Yeah.
You
Well,
got
that was
sour
going to be
beers and-
my question. Is this kind of like what you get out of the lineup at the tasting room? Like a little something for everyone?
Yeah, I try to have a pretty diverse board, just so that people who come in, they're like not super into hops, that they can find something that they really enjoy so that they're willing to come back. It's not just like, I'm here with my husband and he's drinking 10 IPAs and I have to sit here
That'd be me.
and I have to sit here and drink like red.
I like that. I dig that. Well, cool guys. What is the best way to keep up with Hopnonymous Brewing?
The Instagram would be the main way to follow us.
That's how I
Keeping
met
a track, keeping a track on the new recipes, new beers coming up, new collaboration because we didn't talk about local collaboration that's are coming up too. Yes, mostly Facebook, Instagram, I would say.
Very cool. Awesome, guys. Well, Remy, Hunter, thank you so much for coming on Beer for
Yeah,
Breakfast.
of course.
Thank you so much for having us.
Congratulations on getting off the ground.
I can't wait to get over to the tasting room. I'm in that area quite frequently. My roommate works at Society.
Awesome.
So, you guys will be seeing me. And remember, every Friday morning, Paul comes on the morning show with Marty and I for Beer for Breakfast at 9:10. You will know that we will 100% be drinking some Hopnonymous Brewing on Friday mornings. So stay tuned, and you can find all previous episodes of Beer for Breakfast at 91x.com. You can also score some really rad Beer for Breakfast merch while you're there. So cheers to independently owned craft beer and radio in San Diego.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yes.
Thank you,
for
guys.
having us on.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Enchanté.
I could listen to Remy talk all day.
Santé.
91X.